What's good, everybody? Welcome back with another video. It's your boy Robbie. So today I'll show you guys how to install the little quick latch release bumper fasteners for your cars. This will work on the Evo, Joby, Mazdaspeed 3 is us. It's kind of suck. Our bumpers suck really badly. So we're fixing this. Bumper keeps popping out. Reason why is these freaking brackets right here go bad. If your car has white ones, it's probably the bad ones that Mazda put in originally. You would have to eventually change them to the black version ones. Now, I just purchased these because black is better. That's what the girls say, supposedly. That said, that was super gay. But that said, if you don't have black ones, see if you can replace them with black ones. It's better. They're stronger than the white ones. They don't degrade. So the quick latch release fasteners are going to mount to this bolt, and they're going to mount to, there's a bolt that goes under here, and pretty much on all cars, I know Evos have the same type of a bolt here. I think Subis also have it. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they don't, you'll just figure out where you want to mount them. A lot of people use this bracket, these bolts here on the brackets, as their at least one of the fasteners will go there. So if you attach the fastener here, it will hold this portion of your bumper very nicely and flush, and then this one here will hold this little corner here as well. Now on mine, on the Speed 3s, here's where it's going to attach to, and of course there's no bracket here. The bracket is not long enough, so what you're going to do is either custom make yourself a small 90-degree little bracket, or go to Home Depot and get yourself a 90-degree small bracket that will screw directly into there, and then that will have, you know, a small little bracket. I'll show you guys when I start installing it, and then you will attach the quick latch here, and then it will just push in. So I'll show you guys how that's done in a minute. I need to go to the hardware store to grab those brackets for each side. I'm gonna only show you guys how to do this on one side. I don't feel like filming the same exact thing on the other side, so let me go grab the brackets and I'll cut you guys back in. Alright guys, so just got back from the hardware store. This is the tools and the hardware that you will need to mount your quick latches here. Now, first thing I went and got from Home Depot is the corner brace brackets. I got 1.5 inch, thinking that I just need extra adjustment, but depending on your car, if you're doing it on a Speed 3, you probably just need 1 inch. So basically 1 inch would be only up to the first hole here and up to the first hole here as well, and it'll be chopped off. I ended up having to chop this off halfway here and then halfway here in order to make it really flush into my car. So I'll show you guys how it looks in the car real quick. These come about $2 and they're 4 brackets, so it'll be more than enough. It'll give you an extra 2 in case you mess up. You will need a 10mm and 8mm heads here. You're gonna need the extender. You're gonna need a ratchet. You're gonna need probably a flathead to get your clips off and stuff like that. You're also gonna need a 1/4 inch drill bit, and this is because I'll show you guys in just a second where that's gonna go. So here's the car. I've already pre-drilled one and I already installed both of my latch little studs inside. So like I said, you're going to be using this hole for one of them. This is where you're going to use your 1/4 inch drill bit. You're going to drill through, and then you'll be able to screw this into your car. Now you have, the latches will come with this stud, and it'll come with 2 nuts and 2 washers. The reason being is you're going to put 1 nut and 1 washer on the outside of the bracket, and then 1 nut and 1 washer on the inside of the bracket, so that way it clamps in. You can adjust how far in and out you want this stud to go by, you know, unscrewing this side, and you know how to do that stuff. So that's that. So you're going to remove that screw with a 10mm here. See, that screw is still in there. I don't know if you guys can see. That one's gone, and it's replaced with this stud. So the bracket is still holding on very nicely because these 2 studs here, or these 2 washers and nuts, is holding it in place really well. And then plus you're just going to adjust how far out and in, and the only way to do that is to mock up the actual bumper to it. Push it in, see if it's pushing. If it's pushing, then move the stud further in. Now this is the parts where everybody is like, oh well, you need a bracket. No, you don't. You have a screw here. Well, you do kind of technically need a bracket, but you technically don't, because you could also use just this hole. You can use this hole and this hole. It'll be enough for this corner to stay in, because these things are super strong, as I'm going to show you guys in just a minute. So here's what I did here in my case, just so I can show you how I did it. Like I said, 1-inch brackets is going to be enough. Make sure you have multiple holes. I put multiple holes here so I can adjust this up and down, further in and out, so there's no gap in between here. So in my case, what I did was I just drilled a whole bunch of holes into this, and that ended up actually using the stock OEM hole there, but whatever. So you're gonna cut your brackets, make sure they're nicely flush in there. You're gonna screw it with the same screw that came with the car here. So screw the bracket in there, and then onto the first little hole of the bracket here, the 90°, and then you're gonna adjust the, of course, how far out and in you want it. Mine's already adjusted. That said, this hole, how do you do this hole here? How do you mock it up exactly so it pokes through there? So the way I did this was, you put a little bit of toothpaste. I'm gonna do it on this side for you guys so you guys can see. On this side I already did it, but you put toothpaste here on the head of this and on the head of this, and then you're gonna mock up your bumper in. Once you get your actual, you know, how far in you want your bumper to go, then you do the toothpaste test. Or you can actually back them out a little bit more than usual, and then that way it'll actually touch the bumper before it actually flushes all the way in. That way you'll mark the bumper on the inside. So what you do is you get some toothpaste here, put some on the head, then you mock up your bumper, touch it against those little rods here, and then that way on the inside you'll be able to see where you need to make your holes. Now you're gonna need one of these bits. This is called a step bit, or a step drill bit, or something like that. So you're gonna start drilling into your bumper from where it's marked on the other side, and then you're gonna keep drilling in and in and in until it gets to the point where this head here will fit in. Now this screw comes out, of course, this will come out, and then this will go through. So every step of this drill, test this and see if it'll fit in. If it doesn't fit in, then you test it again, and then you keep drilling until it actually fits in. I have removed the nut on the other side of this guy. See, it fits perfectly nicely and nice and flush in there. Really clean, you can't even see it, especially on the black car. So that's that. On the other side, you're gonna put this guy, which is to make this thing stay in there. That's already nicely mounted. Make sure you tighten and lock these nuts really well so they don't move around, and then you screw this in on that side. I'm gonna do that real quick, and I'm gonna attach the bumper. My clips are still pretty good here on this side, so I'll just attach the bumper with this only so you guys can see how clean and flush it is. Alright guys, so I've already attached this piece onto the bumper. It's nice and tight, it doesn't move anywhere. And now I haven't drilled this yet. My clips hold pretty well, but I'm gonna clip it on here and I'll show you guys how that is. Now on your bumper, real quick so I can show you, right there, you will have to cut that piece out, like that. If you still have your little plastic thingy that looks like that, you're gonna have to cut that out nicely. Don't cut it out all the way, just cut it up to where your bracket starts here. That's about it. I did it a little bit before that even. So cut it up to the bracket and cut that whole piece off there, because you don't need it. It's gonna get on your way in order for the bumper to be flush. So I'm gonna go ahead and click it in real quick, show you guys how that's done. So you're gonna click the front side, of course, and then you're gonna line it up here, and then make sure it clicks. Again, I think it did. Yes, it did click on my side. Yep, it clicked. So that's not coming off now. You're gonna see this little button flush out from the outside when it clicks perfectly in. So as you can see, I can yank on this now. That bumper is not coming off unless I push that button. And I'm gonna push the button now so I guys can show you. Here's how it looks, by the way. Look at how nice and flush that is. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but super flush, super flush. So I'm gonna unclip it now, press the button, and pull out. When it comes off, you can pull your bumper off. Alright guys, there you have it. It's all ready to go. Now it's nicely mounted. So just make sure you guys measure your exact points where you want to drill exactly, or do the toothpaste trick that I did, or mount it correctly. and they should work perfectly fine for you as they do for me. People, they're saying they're not flush. I mean, check that out. It's more flush than how the OEM was. So I'm happy with how these things turned out right here. And if you guys want to buy them, I'm gonna have a link below in the description where you can purchase them for cheaper. I'm actually selling them. Yeah, the hardware, the studs will come with it. The brackets will not come with it, so you're gonna have to get those yourself. Make sure you get the 1-inch ones. You don't have to get the 2-inch for Mazdaspeeds. For different vehicles, you just figure out what size bracket you will need, and yeah. If you guys have any comments, please drop them below, and I'll be answering every single question that you guys have. Again, if you want to buy them, a link in the description where you can buy them, and this is my personal link and stuff. Go ahead and purchase them from there. They usually ship within 7 business days. As of now, I am out of stock. I'm getting another shipment coming in probably next week from the supplier, and yeah. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, what's behind you doesn't matter. See you in the next one.